podcast party. Descent into Avernus.
My name is Renascence. My brother gave me that name. My friends and I have just completed a raid on the Dungeon of the Dead 3 on behalf of the Flaming Fist. We're doing that because a man called Mortlock Vanthampur is holding a secret over our heads. During the raid, our cleric, Corbin, was badly wounded. I thought he was dead, to be honest, but some god or other was watching out for him and brought him back to us. Some people have all the luck. At the heart of the dungeon, we came upon someone else fighting off the last of the cultists. We jumped in and lent him a hand, and then he introduced himself.
My name is Mortlock Vanthampur. Perhaps my last name will give you a little clue.
Yes, we've definitely heard of it.
How does a member of the illustrious Vanthampur family find themselves down here?
Well, the Dead Three and me family have a little bit of a deal, shall we say. My family's paying the Dead Three cultists to do away people in the city. Our goal, of course, is to prove that the Flaming Fist can't do its job, can't protect its people, can't do shite. Once the city stops paying the Flaming Fist will have less of a reason to stay here in Baldur's Gate. With them gone, well, no one will stand in the way of me mother becoming the city's next Grand Duke. You, of course, know me mother, eh?
Do I?
Thalamra Vanthampur.
On the Council of Four.
I mean, she is a tough cookie. You don't mess with Thalamra, or you get the horns? I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
You get the wolf.
We have heard there is a recent vacancy in the position of Grand Duke.
Oh, aye, a vacancy. If my mother gets her way, Baldur's Gate will get dragged down into the Nine Hells where it belongs.
But hang on, if all that's true, how come you're down here cracking skulls?
Well, me brothers and I, we don't always see. And he sort of points at the side of his face that's been covered by scars, and he says, eye to eye. I was betrayed. These assassins, and he points out towards the flooded area where the bodies of these men in black still float. He says, they conspired with me brothers to kill me. If he hadn't come along, I'd be no more.
Your brother set you up.
Oh, aye. Of course they did. Who else would hire such crappy murderers to come and try and destroy me? Well, they didn't do such a bad job. And he looks down at his still healing stomach. He says, but they didn't kill me. Not dead yet.
If your family's betrayed you, what will you do now?
That's a good question. Guess I'll have to leave Baldur's Gate. Else they'll just make another try at it.
It's not so easy.
There are ships leaving Baldur's Gate every day. Those with money and power and influence leave Baldur's Gate after what happened in Elturel.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Not used to thinking of having power and influence.
Do you harbor ill will toward your family now?
Oh, aye. Amric, piece of shite. And Thirstwill, me oldest brother. Amric, I don't know if you know him.
We've met.
We may have run into him.
Oh, well, pleasant individual on the outside, but on the inside, as ugly as what you see on me face. He runs a money-lending business out of a tavern called the Low Lantern. Perhaps you've seen it. It's a ship, but doubles as a pleasure barge, shall we say. Me mother doesn't expect much of me, but she thinks the world of Amric. He's always been her favourite. Now, my oldest brother, Thirstwill, he owns this bathhouse, and I'm not sure as to the specific magical powers that you all have. And he sort of looks around the group and he says, but if ye can see magic, you will have seen the imps that he uses as surveillance. No? Well, he probably already knows you're here.
You've, under the circumstances, got no objection to us informing the Flaming Fist about this plot at this point.
Aye, if they believe ye.
If there's anything you'd like to tell us about your brothers, that you'd like us to take with us and possibly inconvenience them with, feel free.
He looks at you, Hylan. Make a persuasion check.
It's a crit fail.
Oh no.
He says, I can't do anything against me mother or me brothers.
I understand.
As you can clearly see, they care little for my life. But if you can do any damage to them, I'd be greatly appreciative.
Well, we've still got a job to finish here. Is there anything you can tell us about this place? We've still got to run down whatever cultists might be hiding here.
Well, if you've made it this far, you've probably killed most of the leaders of the Dead 3 cult. Without them, the cult will probably break up. Oh, you're welcome to the treasure that they keep. It's just in the other room.
You offer it up pretty free. There isn't, a problem with it.
What do you mean, a problem?
Well, treasure always comes from somewhere. Is it from people they brought down here?
Not that I'm aware of.
Does he gesture to this room to the east when he says that?
No, what he does actually gesture is he gestures down the stairs to a room that I don't think you actually saw because you sort of ran directly to the north as soon as you saw them fighting.
There was a lot going on.
Absolutely.
All right, then, it's a lot to process, but suppose it's good we turned up when we did.
That's for sure.
Ofelia asks, is there another way out of here besides just back up through the bathhouse?
Aye, that's the only way in or out.
Has Corbin's detect magic gone off yet?
Yeah, I'd say 10 minutes have passed. Corbin, you look around the room. The only thing that's glowing besides the items that you already know are magical, either on your person or on the person of your compatriots, is this statue of Bane in the middle of the room. It's glowing with magic.
I would assume the soul coin on my person also.
You can be sure of that, sir.
That one there, I'm detecting some magic. Let me look around a bit more. And Corbin's gonna make his way into this back room all the way to the east, where there's some crates and some more rats. See if he detects any magic.
You are able to detect a couple of items that are magical in the crates as well.
More magic back here, guys.
What kind of magic, Corbin?
Necromantic, so to speak, I guess. Yeah, not all necromancy is bad, by the way. I'm just letting you know.
Right, its healing is necromantic.
Exactly.
All right, so I'll try to pinpoint where those magic things are.
You spot 4 objects glowing with magic in one of the crates.
Someone want to check this crate?
Sure.
Right here. And I point to it.
I'll go over.
While they're doing that, I say, Mortlock, if someone were to have a problem with Amric, that wouldn't be a problem with you, would it?
He gives you a lopsided smirk. What kind of thing are you talking about?
Well, you never know. It's a dangerous business, politics. Always an element of risk. But, let's just say that maybe Amric got on somebody's bad side. I don't know, the Flaming Fist might not be too happy to hear this story about your mother's ambitions and so on.
Are you intending to go about this yourself? I don't know if the Flaming Fist have any intention of helping you with internal politics. I would think that me mother would probably move against you as soon as she heard that you were trying to deal with the Flaming Fist.
Sure. I just wonder where you would stand on that.
I'd stand as far away from it as possible.
You wouldn't be interested in carving a piece of your brother's for yourself, then, if such a thing were going down?
I see what you're getting at. He sort of scratches one side of his face and says, I try not to do violence, although my form would probably suggest the opposite. After all, we all have family.
Yeah, I reckon that's true.
Make a persuasion check, but make it with disadvantage.
Ooh, even with disadvantage, that is still a 23.
Okay. So tell me what you say.
Listen, you start running from your family, you're going to be looking over your shoulder the rest of your life. But if there's a chance to settle accounts and you take it, be a free man. You see what they think of you. gesture towards the dead assassins. I can't imagine that's the last lot they're going to send, unless you help us put a stop to it.
He considers this. I can't be doing violence to your family.
Doesn't have to be violent, but I bet there's a lot you could tell us.
Well, I don't know much about the Low Lantern where Amric spends all his time. I know that Thirstwell spends much of his time up at my family's manor, probably hiding with Mummy Dearest. But I'd be right pleased if justice, and he looks you up and down, as ye Paladins like to name it, is served. And then he puts out a massive, meaty hand.
I take it. All right, Mortlock. I guess we'll all find justice in the end.
Of a sort, aye.
Tell you what, if you do decide that you'd like to join in, leave a message at the Elf Song.
Aye, I will.
Good luck to you.
Well, I've got to go out the same way that you guys are going out, so I think that perhaps we, as much as I'd like to do, one of these dramatic, farewell, me lord, kind of deals, I would think that perhaps we all should.
Yeah, no, it's a bit awkward if we say goodbye now and then we all just go shopping.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Plus, there's that treasure you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, who else is going to help you carry all the treasure? Not that I'm particularly advertising my services, but, I do have a little bit of strength in me.
I'm looking to see if there are any traps in these crates or pressure plates or anything.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
That's an 18.
No traps.
All right. Safe.
Corbin will open it up.
Okay. Inside, amongst a whole bunch of hay, are 4 small bottles with red fluid inside. You recognize them as healing potions.
All right.
Yes.
Corbin passes one out to each person.
Awesome.
Good job, Corbin.
Thank you.
Statue over there as well. And I want to check the other room, those dead assassins, see if they've got anything. And our new friend, I want to just walk past him and get a glance.
Yeah, he's about your height, Corbin. He's a big boy.
I try to walk a little bit taller, just so I'm a little taller. Just do that little body stretch thing.
Yeah.
Walk on my tippy toes a little bit.
He's like, why are you walking on your tippy toes, Buggy?
Because I'm a bugbear. We sneak around. You know how it is.
Right.
Does he have any magic on him?
He doesn't, actually.
All right, and then I'll stroll into this other room with these dead guys to the south here. Take a little look.
Okay. They're still floating, face down.
Any magic on them?
Nothing.
I see a room with some chests down here.
Should we check that statue first, though? Back there?
I'd give that thing a wide berth, to be honest.
I'd like to smash it, personally.
I don't think we should do that.
Why?
It's dangerous.
I say, Corbin.
What?
Remember about the gods with their eyes on you? There's some gods you don't want looking at you too closely.
I'm not afraid of them.
Well, it was very difficult to see you injured, Corbin. I would rather just deal with what we have to deal with and leave well enough alone.
Corbin doesn't really like that answer very much, and he's going to go on the stairs and look back at the statue farthest to the north.
Okay.
And if he uses thaumaturgy, can he make it move or shake or possibly even fall over?
Unfortunately not. This is a heavy wooden statue. Thaumaturgy is not that powerful of a spell.
All right, let's look at the treasure.
Okay.
There are actually 4 treasure chests in this room. What stops detect magic? Any kind of material or...
Yes, 1 foot of stone stops it, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say that these chests certainly have an inch of metal. If there is anything magical inside it, you wouldn't know.
I'm not sure about the chests. Hylan, you want to check for traps in there?
Sure.
Guidance. Ilmata guide you.
Thank you.
Okay. If you want, you can do 4 investigation checks in a row.
Okay.
That way I know you go from one to the other to the other to the other. That makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
And I'll just guide her on each of them. As she does each one, I'll just touch her on the head and guide her.
Okay, that is a 26, a 14, and 2 18s.
Okay. With those investigation checks, you are pretty darn sure that none of these chests is trapped.
I'm going to try to open them in the same order, I guess.
All right.
See if they're locked, which I assume they are.
All 4 are locked.
Okay, I'm gonna try to open them.
Guidance.
As she does it, I'm just going to stand there and...
Yeah, we're just double teaming guidance every time she tries to do anything in this room.
I push him out of the way and I guidance her.
It's my turn to guidance. I want to guidance.
Oh, nice! First one is a 26.
Okay, yeah, you pick that lock pretty darn easy.
The second is a 17.
Another lock gone.
Oh, I'm getting lucky here. 14.
That one, your lock pick.
You do have guidance.
Whoops. Lady. Oh, it's an 18 now.
Another lock bites the dust.
Told you, my guidance.
Okay. And a 24.
And another one down, and another one down, and you've unlocked all 4.
We're rich!
Amazing.
I'm retiring to Waterdeep.
Okay, what's in them?
Okay, chest number 1. You see inside an enormous amount of copper pieces. Over 4,500, probably.
Oh.
Lots of copper.
It's a lot of copper.
You also see 2 red crystal vials inside with golden stoppers. These look different from the potions of healing that you've purloined before.
Do they look greater?
They don't look greater. They don't hold more material.
Okay.
Corbin, you still are concentrating on your detect magic, of course.
Yes, sir.
You see that these 2 vials are glowing with magic.
The vials.
I will take a little sip of this potion. I'll just stick my tongue in it.
Okay, you stick your tongue in it and it falls off. I'm just kidding. It doesn't have, you did not sip a potion of tongue fall off.
Thank goodness.
It tastes super spicy. And you guys watch as Renascence goes, whoa, ha, 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 hot, hot, and then breathes out an enormous gout of flame.
Onto Ofelia or no?
Oh, she'd be stepping out of the way.
Yeah, she's dexterous.
Make a dexterity saving throw, Ophelia.
For real?
You got this. You said you're super dexterous.
He took a little taste of it. He probably was like, pooh.
Well, I rolled a 17, so.
She got it.
Absolutely, you duck. It doesn't even singe your hair. Just woof.
Oh, that's strong. That's a high fire content in there. Yeah, you deserve that. I give one of them to Ofelia.
Thank you.
Is that a potion of fire breathing?
Yeah.
It is a potion of fire breath.
All right.
Anyone object to my keeping the other one?
Nope.
No, go ahead.
Nope. You kiss that bottle. It's yours.
All right, what's in the next one?
Chest number 2 contains 10 agate stones, which are mediocre gems. They're worth about 10 gold apiece, so that's a total of 100 gold piece worth of gems.
That's not bad.
Inside, however, other than the gems, are 1,250 silver pieces.
Nice.
Now, I'm assuming that you haven't taken the money, the gold, the silver or the copper out of the chest because they weigh a certain amount,
Not yet,
right? Like
yeah.
the chest,
Yeah.
it's going to weigh a lot.
I can carry it.
Sure you can.
I do divide up the agates, though.
Okay.
So that's 2 apiece and 2 extra. Corbin, that's one for the church.
All right.
And Hylan, that's for some better armor for you. I give her the other extra.
Thank you. Are there 10 silver pieces and a gold piece?
That's correct.
Okay. I'm thinking of how many I could carry.
It would be more than 300 each.
No, yeah, that's too much. I think 50 is reasonable.
Yeah, I'll take 50 silver as well.
Corbin will too.
I will too.
Does Vanthampur want some silver?
Vanthampur wants nothing to do with the treasure. Do you have 2 more to go?
Are we just leaving all the copper?
Pretty much.
Okay, fair enough. Just wanted to make sure we remembered it was there to begin with.
That's Willie's. Leave that for Willie.
Nice. Nice.
I might carry it out for the church
Okay.
if I can.
Well, we might find one with gold in it. You could carry that one.
I'd take the silver one because that's a lot more.
Right.
I mean, I like where this is going. What's in the third chest?
Yeah, let's see what else is in the...
Okay. Resting on a bed of about, probably upward of 2,000 copper pieces and mixed in probably about 500 silver pieces inside this chest, you see a delicate porcelain mask in the shape of a dragon face.
Ooh, I definitely am interested in that.
Does it detect magic?
You don't see anything magical about it.
Can I make like a history check or a religion check to determine if there's something about the symbolism that's familiar?
Sure. If you think that it's of a religious order, for example.
Yeah, or something of that nature.
Yeah, you can make a religion check.
If it's religion, I can assist with that.
Okay. Make it with advantage.
I rolled 6 both times.
You are not well versed in dragon gods, if there are any.
What color is it?
It is red.
Really? Do you mind if I keep this?
Of course.
Yeah, no, by all means.
Keep it or I break it.
I'm gonna put it in my bag.
It's relatively light, only weighs about a pound.
Okay.
The fourth chest, a smaller chest actually. When you open it, you see that there is a crown inside. It's made of bronze, it's not gold or anything worthwhile in terms of metal, but it has sort of 5 spires on it. Each spire is shaped and painted to resemble one of the 5 kinds of chromatic dragons. There's one that's black, there's one that's blue, one that's green, one that's red, and one that is white.
I don't like the look of this at all.
Magic?
Not.
It's just a stupid crown.
Hold on.
No. We have this one every 6th day at the Ilmater's School for Friendless Boys. That's, look, you got dragons, you got a dragon of every color on that.
I'm gonna ask Melitium, is this some sort of artifact that is dangerous, or is this something somebody made because they revered chromatic dragons and it's harmless?
The response from Melitium is faint. The crown is a symbol, an artifact of their god. One kept below, revered by powerful agents of evil.
Tiamat?
Speak not her name. And then it disappears from your mind.
Okay.
I say, between that mask and that crown, I've got some very nasty ideas about this little hall. I'll just say, I think we should take it, but, sell it to someone you trust, Hylan. Don't flash it round.
I'm gonna take it not to sell it, but to just get rid of it. I'm gonna throw it in the harbor or something. I don't want anyone keeping it as a treasure.
Put it in your inventory. That's it. Those are the 4 chests.
Corbin would like to look in each of the chests because back before he was a cleric, he knows that people would hide things in chests in tops, bottoms, and he'll just like poke around. And the one with the silver, he's going to pick it up.
Pick up the whole chest.
He's a bugbear. He's got that powerful build.
It's not too heavy. It's about 30, maybe 40 pounds. So you can pick it up and carry it if you'd like, yeah.
All right. Can he dump the copper one into the silver one and then just take it just to fill it?
Okay.
And then he'll leave the rest.
Okay, cool. So that will make the chest heavier. I'm going to go ahead and say it makes it about 50 pounds now.
He can do that.
Yeah, he can do that easy. I'm not even going to record it because he's just going to leave that at the church.
Totally. All right. It's a 2-handed, deal to carry the chest, though, just FYI.
Cool.
All right. So, yeah, Mortlock Vanthampur says, So, are ye done? Have ye taken the spoils of your conquest?
What do you think? Do you think we've done enough damage here to satisfy Zodge?
There were a couple doors we didn't go in.
I know, but like Mortlock says, I feel like we've dealt a pretty crippling blow at this point.
I would agree.
They'll scatter like rats. I'm sure of it.
I'm done if you guys are done.
Yeah, we can't spend the rest of our lives down here.
This is true. I'd rather spend as little additional time here as possible.
Okay. You guys trudge through the muck and grime out the way you came, back through the bathhouse entrance. As you get to the room with that sort of awful stench of rotten eggs, Mortlock says to you, Seems like we've got a little bit of a gas problem in here.
Let's not drink any of that red juice in here, Ofelia.
Yes, I agree. I don't think that would be a very good idea at all.
I assume that y'all 4 can see in the dark. I would prefer not to light a torch. That would be detrimental to me health.
Everybody gets 300 feet of dark vision right now. Bam.
Oh, I can see everything.
Pretty cool.
And my detect magic lasts 10 minutes, so I'll just keep it going as we leave.
If you ritual cast it again, you have to stop.
He mentioned something about invisible creatures. Let me do it again. So
Sure.
I'll take a few minutes and recast it. Then we walk out.
Okay. You take the 10-minute break to, and there's sort of an awkward stare from Mortlock as he's just sort of like biding his time and waiting for you to finish your ritual. And he says, "That one over there, he got his hands a little strange, eh?"
No, I don't think he's strange at all. He's my friend.
No, I'm not saying that he's strange. I'm saying his hands. Look at his hands, they're all white.
Oh, it's tattoos.
Yeah, he's a priest of Ilmater.
Ilmater.
You and yours.
Right. Mater. He the one who whips himself on his back. That's the god I heard about that one.
Yeah, some of them do that, yeah.
Like an awful waste of time. You're a god.
I think it's just one way that humans imagine Ilmater. I don't really think Ilmater just whips himself. I think it's a symbol.
Who can really say why gods do what they do?
Aye, that's for sure. I mean, after all, if gods had a plan for me, they would never have made me look like this. And he points at his face.
Well, how do you know that's not part of their plan?
Aye, lassie. Part of all the plan. Make me look like this so I can be tormented and laughed at and...
Which of your brothers did that to you?
What makes you think they did this to me?
You implied it before.
Sort of put the pieces together.
He gets quite tight-lipped about this, actually. And he says, "I think it's time get outside."
Fair enough.
And he turns around and heads towards the entrance.
If Corbin is done praying, we'll all go up.
All right, so go ahead and backtrack this is out of game, obviously. Go ahead and backtrack to the beginning, because unless you guys want to go through any place that you haven't already gone, that's your choice again.
I think we're making our way out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think we're done.
Go for it.
Just let me know if Corbin pings anything.
Sure. Nothing so far. As you guys reach the secret door, you see daylight peeking through the small crack in the wall that brings you into the bathhouse proper. There is no noise coming from within the bathhouse.
Like nothing? Not even a sound of running water or wind or anything like that?
No water. You do not hear wind. You do not hear voices. You hear the birds chirping from outside, but that is it.
What time is it now? Maybe like noon?
Probably.
It might not be open yet, so it might be a good time to slip out.
Can't wait to get out of here.
I'm never going to take a bath again.
Wow.
Just kidding.
You'll smell like a bugbear if you do that.
I suppose I should rethink that.
I will make my way out into the main area.
There is still blood all over the floor. This place hasn't been cleaned since last night.
We gotta get out of here.
Yeah, no one's been in yet. Corbin, just take a look. Could be imps here.
Corbin will take the once around the room to see if there's
Impage?
any impage or magic or anything like that.
You don't see any imp-like shapes.
Hang on. I pull out my dreidel thing and spin the cord again. And I will detect good and evil, which will reveal the presence of celestials, fiend, or undead within 60 feet.
Where do you cast that, by the way?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'd actually like to step out the front door
Okay.
and stand in the threshold with the doors open.
Okay.
So I can try to encompass like part of the courtyard and as much of the interior as I can.
Okay. You step out the front door. It's a beautiful day in Baldur's Gate. And then an individual clambers over the 15-foot tall wall and lands in the courtyard. As does another. As does another. There are no fewer than 4 individuals with very strange looking masks over their face. These masks portray them as dragons. You clearly know they're not dragon kin, but are wearing the symbols and vestments of dragon worshippers, ? Their garb is scaled. And then a fifth individual climbs over the fence and lands lightly on his feet. This individual wears no mask, but his face is smooth and almost featureless. He has no eyebrows and a bald head with no hair and heavy set blue eyes. And he looks at you, Renascence, and says, "Greetings. You have something we want. Please, hand it over."
Course, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. And I start patting my belt. I've got it right here. I draw my longsword and I charge at him.
Awesome.
Hi, everybody. The show will be back in just a minute for the second half. We hope you're enjoying Podcast Party Descent into Avernus. We're a group of D&D fans who happen to be professional actors, directors, artists, producers, and friends. We're also professional dungeon masters, and we're available to hire for special occasions, parties, corporate team building events, or anytime you need an adventure. Right now, we're running online games only. When we can, we host site-specific live D&D adventure experiences at locations in and around New York City. We also offer free online adventures at least once a month. Coming up in June, July, and August, we'll be offering monthly free adventures with Dungeon Masters Rachel Savicki, Joe Rasso, and Sean Hendrickson. These free games fill up quickly, so if you'd like to grab a spot, you should join our email list or our Discord server. Links to both can be found at cast-party.com. On our website, you can also find original artwork of our characters, and we're posting maps, pics, and other background material to give you some visuals to go along with the story. Our merch store features all the official Cast Party apparel and accessories that the cool kids are wearing. Check us out at cast-party.com and follow us on Facebook at Cast Party D&D, Twitter at Cast Party 2, and Instagram at cast_party. If you enjoy Podcast Party Descent into Avernus, please follow the show, rate us, leave us a review. We're doing this as a labor of love, and it really helps us a lot. We'd love to hear from you. Message us on social media or email us at info@cast-party.com. Thanks very much for listening, and now back to our adventure in Baldur's Gate.
All right, so here we go, folks. Let's roll initiative.
Ofelia rolled a 6.
Corbin rolled a 16.
Renascence should have a 17 thanks to his advantage on this roll.
Awesome.
Hylan got a 16.
All right. So Hylan and Corbin, you guys can choose who goes first in initiative.
I'd prefer to go second if that's agreeable.
Fine with me.
Okay, great. Right. Looks like the cultists got the drop on you.
Oh no.
The cultists pull out sort of wicked-looking scimitars, awful sort of sharp, almost pitted swords, and they all rush at Renascence. Renascence is in the doorway, so, he's the easiest target. They are going to make 3 attacks against Renascence. The fourth of these dragon cultists sort of hangs back, protecting, potentially, this leader who sort of stands, his arms crossed, an awful-looking grin on his face. Okay. Renascence, what is your armor class?
18.
Okay, all 3 of them run screaming at you with their scimitars drawn, and you see them and you brace for the attack.
I just grab my shield and put it in front of me and hide behind my shield.
Absolutely, and all 3 of them just sort of scream and throw their scimitars against, and none of them get through. Just pa-chang, pa-chang, pa-chang.
Awesome.
But they are sort of forming a massive wall to the outside.
All right, boys, there's plenty of me to go around.
Wordlessly, the leader of the cultists puts his hands up in the air. You see sort of a red miasma issuing forth, and he casts a spell on you, Renascence. This will be a wisdom saving throw, please.
14.
Okay, you feel your muscles stiffen and your sinews tighten, and you are able to just shake it off. Obviously, whatever kind of spell effect this was to potentially paralyze you or hold you in place. But this did not work against you. Your wisdom is just too much for it. Renascence, it is now your turn.
I say, take out the one in the robe. He's got tricks. But I am going to turn to my left and slash at the cultist who's between me and Hylan with my longsword.
Okay.
A 19.
All right.
A 19 will definitely hit.
And that does 4 points of damage.
Okay, very cool. You sink your sword into this individual's chest. He staggers backwards for a second, takes a deep breath, screams, and continues the assault. He's still up.
That ends my turn.
All right, Corbin, you're up.
Corbin's going to see all these people, and he's going to hold out his shield and say, "Nighty-night, fellas." And on the farthest wall, he is going to cast Sleep. It will hit 3 cultists and the leader.
Okay.
25.
Ooh.
Okay, so that means 25 hit points worth of individuals are put to sleep. So 1, 2, 3 of these individuals fall asleep.
All right.
Nice.
The one directly to the left of Renascence, sort of like as he's coming at you again, Renascence, you see his eyes just shut and goes, "Ugh," and falls unconscious. The one furthest out towards the leader of the cultist band also falls asleep, and the one sort of off to the side of you also falls asleep. However, that leaves one cultist and the leader still awake. Anything else, Corbin?
That is it. I'm done.
Hylan, you're up.
All right, I look at the guy in the robe and I say to him, "You and your lackeys go to the hells and burn with your bitch goddess." And I'm gonna
Damn.
shoot him with my short bow.
Okay, shots fired in more than one way.
And I'm going to use steady aim.
All right, that'll give you advantage.
Hylan got an 11.
Okay, yeah, an 11 unfortunately will not hit this individual. Just sails over the wall of the bathhouse. Where it goes,
Nobody knows.
I really hope it didn't hit some random commoner passing by. Message for you, sir.
Zodge said collateral damage was okay.
I think he said it was preferred.
Just awful, like some kid is playing in the street.
Didn't he say preferred?
I don't think he said preferred. I think he said it was okay.
I think you'll find he said
think
preferred.
he said preferred?
He did not.
Well, I'll have to review the tapes. But yeah, some kid is playing in the streets, like, "Daddy, Daddy."
No, my arrow goes over the wall and hits no one, especially children. And I don't go anywhere. I stay where I am.
Very good, of course. All right, Ofelia, you're up.
Okay. Well, Renascence said attack the guy with the robe, so Ofelia will target him with dissonant whispers. He needs to make a saving throw.
Okay, got a 17.
Ofelia pulls out her violin and she starts playing, but you guys can't hear it. She's sort of subtly whispering just a little something along with the violin. The cultist winces and holds his head. He's taken 4 psychic damage.
All right.
Okay, anything else, Ofelia?
That's it for me.
Okay, very cool. The only cultist who is essentially not asleep looks around and sees all of his companions have just fallen unconscious, looks back at the leader and says, "Master, what do I do?" And the individual standing there, his arms crossed with a certain degree of frustration on his face, says, "Wake them up, fool." And he then, still with his sword at his side, kicks one of the cultists. And the cultist sort of shakes himself up and wakens. That cultist's eyes open, and he uses his movement, half of his movement, to stand up, and then uses his action to stab at you, Renascence.
Yeah, he's going to miss. You know how you feel when you take a nap in the middle of the day? You wake up and you're so disoriented.
Well, I have some good news and I have some bad news. Which would you like first?
Bad news, always.
Okay, the bad news is that little nap, that little 6-second nap, certainly did him a world of good.
I refreshed him. Great.
What did you do? Because he got a natural 20 on his attack.
No.
Power nap.
Ow.
What's the good news?
The good news is he did get a 6 on one of the 2 damage die and a 1 on the other, so only 7 damage.
Okay.
So that's the good news.
Okay, good.
So yeah, Renascence grunts and braces himself in the doorway, but he's still got plenty of fight left in him thanks to the temporary hit points from Corbin.
Oh, that's right. So you're...
I only lost 1 real hit point.
Okay, very cool. So you're at 17.
Awesome.
Woohoo!
Temporary hit points for the win. That's their turn. Now the cultist leader in the back sort of scans the people in the doorway, and he sees you in the back, Hylan.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of picks you as a target, pointing his finger at you, and again making the same motion that he made against Renascence this time. So please make a wisdom saving.
Okay. Fucking hell. That is a 10.
Unfortunately, a 10 is not enough. So you guys watch as Hylan, she has her hand on her bow, ready to take another shot, and she just freezes. No motion. She's not even blinking. She's not even breathing. She's just standing there, completely frozen. You have had Hold Person cast upon you, Hylan. You are paralyzed.
Not pleasant.
All right. Renascence.
I look past the cultists swarming in front of me towards the fellow in the cloak, and I extend my left hand, make the devil sign, and whistle to him. And he will need to make a DC 13 wisdom save.
He got a 9. So he fails.
Nice. And he will suffer 10 necrotic damage.
Great.
Ouch. Black magic sort of scriddles across the room. I'm making these words up as I go,
Scriddles.
folks.
Does-
That's
I like
the sign of a-
scriddles.
Scriddles is a
Scriddles.
great word.
You like that?
Yeah.
Scriddles.
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah, it's
This scriddles for you, mate.
all right. It leeches up into his form, and you see him just take a breath. Just for a second, you see underneath his skin, you just sort of see his skeleton. His skin becomes almost translucent, and he just sort of coughs, and blackish red blood comes out of his mouth. He's like, and staggers for a sec, but then rights himself, and then he seems to have been greatly affected by that spell.
All right.
And that is it for Renaissance's turn.
Corbin, you're up.
There is a guy sleeping next to Ren, and Corbin is going to hit him with his whip. He is prone.
Yes. He's incapacitated because he's asleep. So not only will you be able to hit him with advantage, but if you hit him, you will do critical damage on
Auto
him.
crit.
I'm also a bugbear, so when someone doesn't know I'm hitting them, I get an extra 2d6, which will be 4d6, so he's toast. 21.
All right.
Oh my god. Yes, you definitely hit him.
Nice.
For fun, let's see how much damage you can do with this whip.
Well, the first shot did 5. Then the whip does another d4, plus I get another 4d6. 7, 10, 11,
It's fun to watch all the d6s go by.
13 plus 5, 18 points.
Oh yeah, super dead. How do you off this guy? He was asleep and you killed him, Corbin. Goodness.
That's the nicest way to kill someone, is when they're sleeping, they don't even know. So he just wraps the whip around him and yanks it back and pulls the body into the room with him, and he switches places with him.
Renaissance just looks at Hylan and says, "Is he okay?" I'm just picturing you strangling him, saying, "The nicest way to do this is to kill him."
I mean, he doesn't know what's happening, so it's
Yeah.
so. And then Corbin is going to move into his spot and block the door.
Okay, very cool. You step on his dead body now and retrieve your whip.
Next,
Okay. Hylan, you are paralyzed. Since it unfortunately is the end of your turn, you can make another wisdom saving throw.
Okay, good. This is really freaking me out. This has never happened to me before. And I don't know if I can fight it off, and I get a stabbing pain in my head again, and that's not helping. 17!
Hey.
A 17 is enough. You are able to resist this spell and fall out of it. However, that is the end of your turn.
Okay, great.
Ofelia, it is now yours.
Okay. Ofelia, with her violin still out, will begin to play the now familiar mocking tune. I will cast Vicious Mockery on the cultist leader. She will say,
What a terrible leader this man is. He can't even keep his followers away.
I don't know, maybe it's not the best. But it's not every Vicious Mockery is gonna be like the most vicious or the smartest. Like I gotta do a lot of these each week. It gets to be a kind of a
Acerbic mockery.
Yeah.
yes,
It's
acerbic. Well, we'll see, because who knows if it even hits? Maybe it wasn't good enough to actually be vicious.
There we go.
DC 13 Wisdom save.
Yeah, you didn't prep it well enough. You got a 14.
It wasn't a sick enough burn, and I'll have to live with that. Ophelia, a little sheepish, just sort of rubs the back of her neck and hopes no one noticed.
Well, I mean, at least you didn't yell at him to go to hell with his bitch goddess and then get paralyzed.
I suppose
So,
it's a little.
don't feel bad.
Ophelia, actually, out of the corner of your eye, as you're sort of trying not to reprimand yourself too badly, you do see a boot sticking out of the doorway that you guys just came from, and it is a very large boot, and you recognize the boot as the boot of Mortlock Vanthampur.
Cool.
And you see out of the corner of your eye that Mortlock is hiding in the other room. His face, he's sort of like peering out of the room for a sec. You meet his eyes, and then he shakes his head no, and then moves back inside. Dick.
My sentiments exactly.
Well, perhaps he's afraid of these people. I mean, I have not had time to communicate this to anybody, and I wouldn't. Ophelia gives him a quizzical look, but for now she will keep his secret.
Okay.
And in fact, I will move a little bit closer to him so that I am standing between the door and perhaps blocking any potential sightline from the cultists.
Very kind of you. Speaking of cultists, it's now their turn. The two remaining conscious cultists will make attacks with their scimitars one against Corbin and one against Renascence. First attack is a 19 against you, Corbin.
Ow. That hit.
That's 6 slashing damage against you.
No damage to me as my 10 hit points eat that all up.
Fantastic. Second attack against Renascence is a 19 as well.
That'll get through my guard.
7 slashing damage. They do not wake up their third member. He's just sort of lying on the ground, not snoring, but sort of making like deep breathing noises on the ground. It is now the cultist leader's turn. He's frustrated. He's been hit a couple times, and he's not happy at all with the way things are going. And he says, "Get the treasure, fools! Get it from them! Kill them!" And then he reaches out a hand towards you, Renascence, and casts a spell on you. Please make a wisdom saving throw.
16.
Okay. He says a word which sort of echoes through the whole space. He says, "Drop!" And as you guys hear that word, it sort of rebounds off the interior of the bathhouse. And although it has no effect on you, you just think it's very loud and echoey and strange. It seeps into your mind for a second, Renascence, and your grip on your longsword falters just for a second. But then you're able to grip it again with a renewed strength. This had no effect on you.
Drop yourself, sunshine.
I know that spell.
All right. At this point, the cultist will actually move. He will sort of jump up on one of the benches and begin to move away down towards where the exit is.
No.
And that is his turn. Renascence, you're up.
I've still just got him barely in sight, so I point after him again, and I whistle for him. And that'll be another DC 13 wisdom save for him.
Okay. Wisdom saves are flying fast and furious. He got a 17.
Nothing whatsoever happens to him. I just whistle.
Okay. It's a beautiful whistle. You hit the right note, but nothing.
And that'll end my turn.
Corbin.
Renascence, you gotta fight. What are you doing whistling? Come on. Corbin, since he has his whip out and the other guy over there is still sleeping, he's gonna not attack the guy on him. He's going to attack the sleeping guy.
Okay.
15?
A 15 will hit, yes.
All right.
That does 6 points of slashing damage, plus my bugbear 2d6.
It's an auto crit too, right? So you get a...
Yep.
Oh, all right. So 2d6
So 9 plus 5.
plus 9.
Okay, so 9 plus 5 plus 9. Yeah, an amazing amount of damage on these sleeping individuals, Corbin. You're just taking them out left and right. This one, dead.
Bugbears kill sleeping people very well.
Noted.
Right.
And that's his turn.
Okay. Hylan, you have been freed from the influence of this spell, so you're free to act.
Okay, I would like to share Corbin's space momentarily.
Sure.
Sorry, Corbin. And
Excuse me?
Watch the ribs.
I'm just gonna yell coward, typical, and shoot him with my short bow.
Who are you shooting?
I'm gonna shoot the guy with the cloak.
Okay, this will be at disadvantage because you have an individual who is an enemy in front of you, directly in front of you.
I'm doing it anyway because I don't want this guy to leave.
All right, fair enough.
Worth the risk for sure.
13.
A 13 will hit.
All right. So that does 7 piercing.
All right, 7 piercing damage. The arrow hits him in the back, at the sort of small of his back. He goes, and just pulls it out. You see that a trail of red is soaking into his robe, but he's continuing to retreat.
Don't let him get away. It's the end of my turn.
Ophelia.
Get off my foot. Thank you.
Hylan, seeing that Corbin is like, excuse me, what do you do? Yeah, you move out of his space.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just shooting the enemy.
That's my personal space.
I'm going to disengage from these 2 other idiots. Get out of Corbin's way.
Super. Awesome. Okay. Ophelia.
Hey, Ofelia runs forward. You said not to let him get away, so Ofelia picks up her violin and she begins to play. As she plays, she sings.
The Queen of Hearts, she needs some tarts on a summer's day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those tarts and carried them all away.
And she casts Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
I really hope he fails.
Me too, so badly.
Hold on, here we go. Let's see.
Yeah.
He got a. Oh, he does. Obviously, he did not know Alice in Wonderland that well, but hearing it, he starts laughing. I did not get that before, but that is hilarious. Ah! Oh, God. And he just stops his retreat and just falls to the ground, belly laughing, like just peals of laughter. Tears are coming out of this guy's eyes.
Love it.
Ofelia concludes her turn.
Okay. Mortlock, hearing this joke, pokes his head out of the room and is like, was that a knave? I don't understand. And then he sees the cultists that are right in front of you all fighting, and he's like, no, I can't do it. And then he runs back into the other room.
Those Vanthampurs.
The cultists, the 2 remaining ones, look at their leader who's just fallen on the ground, completely incapacitated by this spell, and one of them looks over at him and says, Master Altis, what's going on? Get up! Do not leave us like this! Master Altis!
I say, the curse of laughing Baal and Bane have claimed your master. You best throw down your weapons before you offend him further.
Okay, pretty cool. They look at each other for a second. I think they'll sort of do a sort of semi-morale check here with a wisdom saving throw that I'll make for both of them right now. Nope, they keep going. They have been tasked to fight potentially to the death by their goddess Tiamat. So they do so. In fact, they're both going to attack you. One swings his scimitar over his head and gets a 19.
That'll hit.
And then the other one with a 13.
That'll miss.
Okay.
Block the second one with my sword.
You obviously learned your lesson with the first attack, which does 5 slashing damage to you.
Oof.
How are you?
Not great.
Okay. It is now Altus's turn. Altus, oh my god, I just realized this. They named this guy in the adventure Altus, the Cultist.
Oh no.
Wow. Good job.
Do we all have to make wisdom
I think
saving
so.
throws for that?
Wow. Altus, the Cultist.
Ouch.
So Altus, the Cultist, loses his whole turn, but he is able to hopefully save out of this ridiculous laughter with a wisdom saving throw again. And he got a 16.
He does save.
Oh, okay. I guess the joke, you have to workshop it a little bit. Altus sort of gets up.
No, he doesn't. That's the end of his turn.
He doesn't get up at all. Yeah, that's the end of his turn. So yeah,
Just
Altus.
think about what he did.
Yeah, he stops laughing and just like.
To evaluate his life.
Think about what you did.
What was that joke? I didn't even understand it. And Renascence, it's now your turn.
Get him.
I reach under my chainmail and I sort of shove a couple of my ribs back into place, and I will lay hands on myself for 5 hit points.
All right.
Okay.
And that will end my turn.
Corbin.
Corbin is going to attack the cultist that's on Ren with his whip.
Okay.
A 7.
A 7 is not enough. These cultists have seen what you have done to their companions, and they see you reeling back for another strike. The cultist sort of puts up his arm to deflect it. It wraps around his arm temporarily, and then he just loosens it and is ready. He says, "Try again there. I don't even know what to call you. What are you?"
That was your only chance. You better run now. And that's my turn.
Hylan, you're up.
You had the perfect opportunity to say I'm Batman there.
I was
and
waiting.
You didn't.
I was waiting.
I refuse because Twilight clerics are, everyone's like, it should be Batman.
Batman is a Twilight cleric?
I'm Bugbear.
Yep,
I'm Bugbear.
Well, listen.
I'm Bugbear. No, I'm not doing it. No.
It's in the recording now, so Carrie, in editing, I'm just gonna point out, like, it's there. You could.
Yeah, I could play it as many times as I want. So
I'm going to speak to my agent. I'm calling my agent right now. Right now, I'm calling him.
All right, Hylan, you're up.
Okay, I'm not done with this guy. So I'm going to, again, move into Corbin's space.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to shoot him again. I don't care if it's disadvantage. I have no choice.
All right.
Oof, 11.
11 is not enough. The arrow hits the wall over where this cultist leader currently lies, but not low enough to hit him while he is lying there.
All right, I'm going to disengage again.
Okay.
And move 5 feet. And I'm just going to say, please, Ofelia, kill him.
Speaking of, it's your turn, Ofelia.
I'll do my best. Ofelia can just see him still right in the corner of the doorway. She says,
This man is a coward. He'd leave you guys behind.
DC 13.
Yeah, unfortunately, he got a non-natural 20 on that one, so I don't think he even heard that one, to be honest.
Well, that's it for me, I guess.
All right.
I'm just a little too far away.
No problem with that. Mortlock, unfortunately, is, again, sitting in that room. You don't know what he's doing, but he has not emerged as of yet.
Can I whisper to him, like, what are you doing?
You're not close enough. You could spend your turn walking over there and then try to find out what's going on.
That.
He's in the room that you guys used to go down into the dungeon, and he hasn't emerged. All right, the two cultists forming this bulwark of sorts against the retreat of their leader continue their assault against Corbin and Renascence. One attack on each of you. First is a 15 on Corbin, and the second is an 11 on Renascence.
I parry that with my longsword.
Excellent. Altis, it is now his turn. He stands up, says, I will attempt to get more of us. Stay here and make sure you finish them off before retrieving the treasure. And then he spends his action. Well, he's used half of his movement to stand up. He uses the other half of his movement to run behind the wall so you can no longer see him.
Exactly.
And then what he does from there, you do not know. Renascence, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm just going to swing at the gentleman directly in front of me. And miss with a 5.
Oh yeah, unfortunately no. Whoosh, right over their head.
And that is the end of my turn.
Corbin.
Corbin is going to turn his head real quick, and he's going to go, Vanthampur, get out here and help us now, or I'm going to put you to sleep forever. Then he will attack the cultist in front of him.
Make a quick intimidation check.
Intimidation. Ooh, 17.
A 17, okay. At that, you hear... Oh, God, damn it. And you hear boots scraping on stone as a massive bulk stands up somewhere inside the bathhouse. What else do you want to do, Corbin?
I would like to attack the cultist in front of me with my whip.
Go for it.
23.
Yeah.
A 23 will hit. How much damage?
5 slashing.
Okay, you crack your whip. It makes an awful gash on this cultist's face, and half of his mask breaks and flies off, and you see a rather terrified individual now standing there in front of you, but he's still alive.
I smile at him.
All right, Hylan, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to move into Renaissance's space, and I'm going to double short sword attack this guy to my right.
Go for it.
Crit!
All right.
On the first hit.
Oh my God, this is gonna be a lot of damage.
That's 8 piercing plus 5 sneak attack, so 13 points of damage on the first hit.
The first hit, you just sink your short sword right into this guy's gut, and he just goes. He looks down, all of his internals are just falling out of him, and he sinks to the ground and is dead.
Rogues.
Thank you.
And then I'll take my second attack on the one next to Corbin. Just a 15.
A 15 hits.
That does 5 piercing.
Okay, you just, deadly rogue, man. Just off the first one, off the second one. Both of them fall to the ground within a matter of 6 seconds.
Nice.
Okay, and I'm gonna keep running after this guy. 5, 10, 20, 25, 30. And I'm gonna stop right there.
Okay. From your viewpoint, Hylan, you see limping out of the bathhouse is Cultists, who has been called out by his now deceased compatriots. And he's grasping his side and sort of turns back towards you. And he just sort of has this look of horror on his face. Mm-hmm. Okay, Ofelia, your turn.
Seeing Hylan run outside and seeing that there are no more cultists blocking my path, I too will run so that I'm standing next to Hylan, and then I will take the dash action.
Yeah.
And I can just catch up with him.
All right.
So I'm now standing right next to him,
Oh boy.
and I take out my rapier.
Okay.
Love it.
This is interesting. Okay, anything else, Ofelia?
Oh, that's it for me.
Okay, Mortlock Vanthampur has been called out. So he steps through the door, an imposing individual. Just about your height, Corbin. Steps out, cracks his knuckles, cracks his neck, and says, "Right. Oh. And he looks at all the bodies on the ground and goes, "Well, I guess you have no need of me then, eh?" And then sort of walks up to you, Corbin. Why are you growling at me? I don't understand you. You said get out of here, and now there's nothing left for me to...
I wouldn't say nothing, Bob.
Good job. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Around the corner, go.
What do you mean? Oh, crap. Right. And then he sort of just shoulder shoves you, Corbin. 5, 10, 15, 20, and then he gets to right about 10 feet away from you with his action after having, quote-unquote, dashed. Although it's more of a sort of a fast walk.
Guy's useless.
Just a speed walk, if you will, power walk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not useless. As he shoves past you, you see that the weapon that he was using down in the dungeon, which is this enormous club, it looks like if it hit you in the face, you probably wouldn't see tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So, but that is unfortunately just his turn. And now we turn to the retreating, although not yet completely out of it, Altus the Cultist. He sees you, Ofelia, he turns around and he says, "You follow me to your doom!" And his hand courses with this sort of black aura, and he touches you, Ofelia. Ofelia, I would like
I don't
you
like this.
to make...
Oh.
Here we go. Hold on.
No.
It is a... Oh, no, you don't have to make anything. Hold on. I mean, I have to...
Oh.
It is an attack,
right?
yes, it is an attack.
I know what it
Don't
is.
sign anything, Ofelia, without having it reviewed by your attorney.
No.
You don't know
Okay.
that.
Ophelia, that is a 16 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay.
Ooh, he's hurt, bud.
That is 17
Oh.
necrotic damage.
Ouch. Ophelia is knocked prone and she is unconscious.
Damn it.
Okay, this awful black energy courses through you. You just the worst pain, Ophelia, that you felt in quite a while.
It's okay. Guys, I'm gonna be fine.
And Ophelia falls to the ground in a heap. Altus smiles at you, says, "Commoner." And then he sort of uses the rest of his turn to run off into the dark.
Oh, I want to get him so bad.
That's what I like to hear from my players. I want to get him.
Yeah.
I want to get him. Renascence, it's your turn.
Okay, Renascence charges over the corpses of the cultists. 5, 10, I heard Ofelia go down. I'm trying to get to her. I sidestep around Hylan. I can't quite reach her, so I'm going to dash to get to her. That's my turn. I reach her, but I don't have an action left to do anything.
Can you see the guy?
I'm actually not even. I'm completely focused on Ofelia.
Yeah, you are completely focused on her. You don't see, even on the periphery of your vision, where Altus the Cultist has disappeared to. Corbin.
I have a question about the map. There's some bushes on the map.
There are some bushes, yeah.
Are these bushes that a bugbear could just like stomp for them? They don't mean anything?
Yeah, they're sort of small shrubberies. Yeah.
A shrubbery.
Oh, shrubbery. All right, so Corbin's just going to stomp through the shrubbery.
Yep.
Doesn't see anybody here, so he's going to go out the door. He's going to use the dash action.
Okay. You see Renascence sort of kneeling near Ophelia's prone body.
And he's going to get there, and he's going to look both ways to see if he can see which way the guy went.
Okay, make a perception check.
24.
Ooh,
Nice.
man. Okay, about 40 feet away from you is this individual. You can only see a glimpse of his cloak just billowing to the west of you.
Okay. So then he's going to move his 3 more squares and try to get as close to him as he can. Not all the way, but he's close.
Okay,
enough.
you're chasing him down.
Love it.
And that's my turn.
All right. Hylan, you're up.
All right, here I go. I can see him. I'm going to bonus action dash so I'm in melee with him, and then I'm going to hit him with my short sword.
All right, with a burst of speed, Hylan just runs right past Corbin, Renascence, and Ofelia, and like a blur of speed, and just looking behind his shoulder, he sees you coming up behind him. Anything you want to scream as you come at this guy with your short swords, Hylan?
Yeah, I want to scream, pray to Bahamut, and
Okay.
I'm going to hit him with my short sword.
All right.
That is a 10.
A 10 is not enough. He ducks under your attack. Ofelia, it's your turn. Make a death saving throw, Ofelia.
That's a 2, so 1 fail.
Uh-oh. One failure. Now it is Mortlock's turn. Mortlock, seeing the rest of you running outside, he picks up the pace and will join you and says, what's going on with the lass?
I say, help me get her up.
I can't do anything for her, I don't know any medical oh God, she looks awful.
Just get down here and try.
Okay, he used all of his action to get to her, so he doesn't have actually any ability at this point in time to try to revive her, so it is now Altus's turn, who is right next to Hylan. He's like, you made little of my goddess, and now I shall make little of you. And he will, from both sides of him, pull out these awful sort of fang-like daggers, and will make 2 melee attacks on you, Hylan.
Okay,
The first is a 10,
that misses.
and the second is an 8.
That misses.
All right, so whoosh, whoosh. The two of you are clearly matrixing the hell out of this fight. I love it. Renascence, you're up.
I get down on all fours next to Ofelia and I start giving her chest compressions. And I say, stay with me. I'm gonna make a medicine check to try to stabilize.
All right.
15.
15 is enough. Ofelia, you no longer have to roll death saving throws. You are stabilized but unconscious.
Awesome.
And I do still have movement.
Yes, you do.
So, seeing that she is stabilized, I squeeze past Corbin. Can I clear the corner of the building next to Hylan?
Yes, you can.
You can go through me, yeah.
Is there any space? I can't see for me, it's black behind him.
Yep.
Can I stand there? Or is he against the wall?
He's basically against a wall. He's backed up against the wall with his 2 daggers drawn.
Got it. So I just move around the corner to try to corner him between me and Hylan and the wall.
Okay.
I've got my longsword out, but that will end my turn.
Very good. Corbin, you're up.
Corbin sees she's stable, glances back real quick. All right, let's end this. If I move 10 feet, I'm on top of him.
Yeah.
And he's going to say, your dragon is no god. And I'm going to hit him with
Whip it good.
17.
17 will hit.
All right.
How much damage?
5 points of slashing.
Okay, you give him a good whoosh, and he screams in pain, does not fall, but he is very badly hurt now. You see gashes and slashes and all kinds of awful damage that has been done to him, but he still stays alive.
Corbin smiles down at him. You're done.
Hylan, you're up.
You're a lackey for a hateful creature that cares nothing for you. And I will stab him with my short sword. That's a 16 to hit.
That will hit.
That does 8 piercing and 6 sneak attack, so 14 points of damage.
Hylan, you get the killing blow. How do you do
Nice.
Yes. Yes. I stab him right through the chest, and I stare at him while I do it.
it? Okay, this awful exhalation of air as you've pierced his lung and out through his back, and the tip of your blade has basically pinned him to the back wall, and he just goes, and just a fountain of blood comes out of his mouth, and he goes, I will see my goddess soon. And then he just goes limp.
Lucky you. I put my boot on his torso and I pull my sword out.
Thanks for listening. This episode featured the Dungeon Master stylings of Matt Gordon, with Tal Aviezer as Renascence, Andy Cannistra as Painbearer Corbin Shiv, Rachel Tamarin as Ofelia, and me, Carolyn Fox, as Hylan. I also edited this episode. Our original theme music is by Lauren Anker and Anthony DiMasso, two of the finest people you're ever going to meet. Some sound effects in this episode are courtesy of Syrinscape. Remember, if you enjoy Podcast Party Descent into Avernus, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. Thanks very much for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the next episode.
I started moving.
There you are. There you are. Damn rogues.
Rogues.
Sorry, Hylan.